Okay, with all the setup out of the way, let's break down my total income. It was actually $130,000, which is crazy. I was asking for $130,000, like a bump up to $130 for the longest time. Eventually, they came to me and they're like, "We got you close. We got you $129,000." Like, why? It's the weirdest thing. I should say that I recently got a new job with pay bumps. Things aren't nearly as tight anymore, but $100,000 ain't what it used to be. Am I right? My gross pay per paycheck is $4,061.55, but we're actually doing 2 pay periods for about 1 month, just so there's more stuff to look at. So we'll bump that up to $9,957. But before I see making that money in my account, I paid $1,052.70 in taxes, and there's $250 in tax deductions, which includes health insurance, dental, and then I pay $1,190.70 in 401k. It was 12% of my income, and the company would match up to 6%. So that was an extra $594 to my 401k, which, if I need $1 million when I turned 59 and a half, then I have failed in a big way. A 401k kind of feels like you're betting on yourself to fail, but it is a good way to kind of pay yourself first. The concept in one of those books, like Richest Man in Babylon, or one of those finance books that says that you should pay yourself 10% of your income first, like pay yourself. So I see the 401k as that kind of thing. And I guess with the 401k, I'm not technically paycheck to paycheck then, because I'm like putting that money away. Anyway, what's hitting my account is $3,300 per paycheck for $6,600. We're just going to go through the things that I think you find the most interesting, starting with the stuff on the top. So paycheck, $3,299. These are the 2 paychecks or the 2 pay periods. And then this first big one, $2,253.03. That's our mortgage. So that's our biggest expense in the month. Just for some quick context, this is my house. I'm married. I have a wife, 2 kids, ages 4 and 2. We drive a Passat and a 4Runner. We should not have a car payment because we paid both of these off while I was working the 2 remote jobs. And we've got a little pup named
because he handed it in along with his said he'd find a better way to protect the
in Utah. Check out those beautiful Utah mountains. Well, let's actually switch the category. This is still ordered by biggest to smallest. So you can see paycheck is in there, mortgage, Venmo payments. I'm not exactly sure what all these Venmo payments are. Several of these are to babysitters. So we have a babysitter that comes every week, and we pay her, I think it's like $40 to $60 every week, which is totally worth it. If you have young kids, take a little bit of time away from the kids, just be with you and your spouse. Some of this other stuff is like random spending. So I went mountain biking with my brother, and I rented a bike. I probably should have pulled the credits out and only shown the money that's going out of our account, but whatever. Our utilities is $510 per month. This is our power bill, $258, which is a lot, and it's because it's a summer month. Like August, it's always going to be higher because we're just cranking that AC. This one, $150, is for water and garbage and that kind of stuff. And this is for our internet, $76, and then $24 for our energy bill. My wife really didn't want me to walk through all this stuff. I feel like this is very private. I feel very vulnerable right now, but I honestly don't care. I think it's better to like show this stuff, to talk about it. I don't care if you guys see how much I'm freaking spending on power or how much money I'm making at my company. I think this is like, it's better to get it out in the open so we can all kind of like learn what's possible and what other people are spending on stuff. Dentist for $243.77. So I've talked about this on my channel before, but I have fake teeth. I got hit by a car on my road bike when I was 16 years old. So smashed all my teeth out. Recently had some dental work where they had to replace one of the crowns, $243 for one of those visits in August. Our groceries are $892. They kind of fluctuate between $800 and $1,000, right around there. Eating out, we're so bad. We're so bad at this. We eat out way too much. $782 eating out. And this is 4 people. I mean, 2 adults and then 2 kids. But we could definitely cut some costs in eating out. I never know, like, what's normal? Like, what do you guys spend on eating out every month? I'm so curious. Like, comment below if you know how much you spend on groceries, if you know how much you spend on eating out. I would be very curious. Clothing and shopping for $600. Financial advisor, $150. We're just kind of like putting away into this long-term savings account. Our insurance is $195 total, so you got $113 for home and auto, and then life insurance we're paying $54 and $27. So I think $54 is for my life insurance, and then my wife's is $27 a month. This is for our phones, for Spotify, Epidemic Sound, Disney Plus, Hulu, so $150 a month. For gas and fuel, is $467.97, $283 in just random shopping, and then this is also just random spending. You got post office on there, Walgreens, travel. So in the month of August, we actually took our family to Disneyland, so $357. So I don't know if I should really count this in my regular spending, but you can see Disneyland Resort, Poop Corner, Bing Bongs in Anaheim, Tiki Juice Bar, all the best places in Disneyland. There are other things that are obviously missing from this, like we paid for Disneyland tickets and booked the hotel and other kind of stuff that we booked before this month. So this is just for the month of August. Then the rest of them, parking, returns, books. Yeah, not super important. Okay, so our total spending for those 2 pay periods was $8,010.14. We do have other sources of income, like I do freelance design work, and I have a chunk of savings still from when I did the 2 jobs thing, and I make some money from YouTube. I can go into more detail on that if you're interested. I'm actually surprised at how much I'm making because I'm pretty new to the platform, small audience, not a ton of views, but making more than I would think. So if you want, go ahead and guess below in the comments how much you think I'm making from YouTube. And if anyone gets it exactly right, then I will give you
because he handed it in along with his sword. Said he'd find
so
a
that's what
better
our
way to
spending
protect the
income
town.
was looking like back in August. And like I said, I've got a new job, so I'm making more money now. But we're really trying to be more disciplined about spending now, even with the higher income, because I always feel like I've painted myself into a corner with bills and lifestyle where I feel like I have to make a certain amount of money or we're just not going to survive. But going through and seeing what I actually am spending money on, I'm realizing how much of my spending is not necessary. It's wild how things can slowly build up over time and become the new norm. That's it for the video. Please like this video so the YouTube gods will see me.
Notice me, Senpai. Notice me.
So they recommend this video to other people who would benefit from seeing it. Bye.
All right, let's get into Friday feedback, also known as the Friday feedback, where comments and emails and excretions are just pouring in as we approach 3 million YouTube subscribers. I predict that the hate mail will go absolutely nuclear or even nuclear. When we hit the 3 million subscriber mark, I think it will be extraordinarily triggering to many of the people that are waiting for the show to evaporate and to go down the drain. So they are going to be very upset. But in the meantime, let's get to some emails that came in to info@davidpackard.com. We'll look at some subreddit posts that we will discuss. Emotional Ant posted to the subreddit, Trump and Elon are putting people out of work. They're going to trigger a recession. It's not just federal employees losing jobs. Anyone in any sector that relies on grants or government regulations is at risk. I know people who work in labs for pharma and environmental. They're facing job losses. So are people in education. Even the threat of job losses has caused these people to tighten their budgets, which will have an impact on markets. This will eventually become everybody's problem. I agree completely. I have many friends who worked for nonprofits funded partially by USAID. Many of them are currently out of jobs or looking for jobs and are being told we are being flooded with applicants for jobs because of everybody who has lost their jobs. Well, I know of people who are in industries that would be very much hurt by tariffs, if and when the tariffs, in reality, a stable, fixed, semi-permanent reality. This is what we call the opposite of demand side stimulus. This is such basic economics. When you give more people the means with which to buy things, it's better for the economy. When fewer people are working, when people are making less money, when people are worried that the source of money will dry up, they say, I will wait to spend either by choice or by necessity. And I've explained how this affects this one. For rich people who already if you're going to give everybody who's rich a tax cut, they are not going to be more likely to get a subscription. $7 for my show, $3.50 a month if you YouTube on Facebook. Rich people are not going to be influenced in their purchasing decision by a tax cut. On the other hand, if all of a sudden a bunch of working people lose their jobs, people for whom the $7 a month they spend here and however many bucks a month they spend with a different show, that is meaningful. And so they lose their jobs, they will tighten their budget. Similarly, if you're on the outside stimulus, either by getting more people jobs or at least with marginally more disposable. They go, you know what? I've got an extra $100 a month. Save 70 of it, because of course my viewers are extraordinarily fiscally smart, and they say, I'm going to buy extra $100. $70 of it I'll put into my retirement account. And then the other 30, I will go out and get myself a cappuccino one morning, and then I'll get a membership to David Pakman, and then I'll get a membership to Jimmy Dore. No, probably not Dore, but you get the point. When more people have money, it's better for the businesses that have something to sell, be it a service or a product. So yes, I do believe that taken to its full potential, the Trump-Musk economic policy sounds pretty much the policy is, and pointing at things in the dark. I think it will be very bad. On the topic of dead people, they're dead getting Social Security money. I heard from Sind Blank, who said, when my parents died, Social Security couldn't wait to take their money back. The very month they died, they deducted that month's payment and shut down the account. I don't believe this accusation for 1 minute. Yeah, you know, they've still shown no proof that a single dead person is getting checks. Now, I will concede to you, with a country of 340 million people alive, there is no question that some number temporarily slipped through the cracks. States may not always report deaths on time. Hospitals, right? There is a temporary period during which we estimate at its peak, 10 to 15,000 people receive some Social Security money after death. Typically, it's 1 month. Sometimes it's part of a month, and it is ultimately correct. The idea that tens of millions of people are getting paid Social Security money is a fabrication for which they have shown no proof because they don't have any. And it is all a pretext to justify cutting Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. If they can convince you that there is endless fraud, then they can say, we must cut. We've got to do it. Okay, Accordia 91 refers to Elon Musk as Space Karen and says Musk didn't invent Tesla, he bought it. Musk didn't invent SpaceX, he bought it. Musk didn't invent Starlink, he bought it. Musk didn't invent X, he bought it. Musk didn't invent Trump, he bought him. Yeah, the last one is sort of a tongue-in-cheek, but it is true that many of the businesses that Elon Musk is in charge of, he didn't create, he didn't buy. It's still nothing to sneeze at to be able.
Okay, so the Tesla Robotaxi unveiling event was a couple days late, and it might be the weirdest tech event I've ever been to. You might see some clips from it at this point. I was there. I rode in the self-driving Robotaxi, and I explored the insane-looking rover, and the trucks just not a good event. So, you know, the first of all, the rover, this was the main thing that we knew we were going to see, this full unveiling of a fully self-driving Tesla. We saw it, and then like this, very, very much like a mini Cybertruck. They call it complete lack of visibility. And of course, you can see it's a two-seater passenger car. That's what a full self-driving robo-cab or cyber taxi, whatever you're calling it, would actually look like. Whether it looks an active on the car, like we're going to race. And there are some things that are significant about this thing. On the outside, it's light gold. Every single one is this like silvery gold color, although there was never any mention of actual materials. Pretty small footprint. You can see there's no exterior door handles or mirrors or anything like that. And then, since they don't need any steering wheel or pedals, they can sort of push the seating position way back into this more like loungy seating position, kind of near the middle of the car. There's a center armrest, and there's a massive 21-inch touchscreen in the center. And yes, the doors go up. Tesla hasn't learned from their lessons of the Model X. They're making another crazy set of doors, which honestly is definitely a hit visually. It's a striking feature of this car, alongside